Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Alivia and I make videos about anthropology every single Monday. And in my opinion, this is actually a really fun and exciting video because I've actually already made this video. This week we are going to be talking about whether or not I think my anthropology major was worth it. This is the million-dollar question. It's the one I get asked all of the time. But the difference this time around is the last time I made this video, I was actually still a senior in college at UCLA. Now I am 1 year post-graduation. It's July. I graduated in June of 2022. We are in 2023 right now. And I have some updated opinions on whether or not I think my major was worth it. So I want to dive into that with you guys, tell you exactly what I think, especially now that I'm coming at it with the perspective of someone who's been out in the real world for a year now. So without further ado, let's just talk about it. So I'm not going to make you guys wait the entirety of this video to let you know whether or not I think my anthropology major was worth it. So, was it worth it? I still believe that yes, my anthropology major was worth it, but I don't think it would be worth it for everybody, and I'm going to tell you why. There were definitely a few different things that I did as an undergraduate student during my time at UCLA that I think made the anthropology major worth it for me. And these are all things that if you're considering majoring in anthropology, I think you should do as well. And if you don't do these things that I'm about to share with you, I don't actually know if this major would be worth your time. So I have three big categories that we're going to talk about today. And the first one is getting involved. Something that I learned in college very, very clearly is that you can love a subject but not love doing it. And I think that's a little bit counterintuitive for a lot of people because it seems like what's one without the other. But I think a good example of that is you could love ancient Egyptian artifacts. Like you could just be so riveted by that. But at the same time, you could also hate excavating these items, right? Like you can have one without the other. I personally find ancient Egyptian history and artifacts very cool, but I think I would actually despise being there in the hot sun digging things up. They don't go together for me. And this applies in many other areas of anthropology too, not just archaeology. Now, the reason I bring this up is because it's really, really important to get involved with the anthropology major. You could love sitting at a desk, learning about the theorems, everything that anthropology is and everything that it represents. But there's a big difference between liking what you're learning and putting what you're learning into action. You might hate actually doing the research or teaching anthropological knowledge. It's important to get involved as much as you can with the anthropology major so you can figure out what it is you'd want to do with it. Because I think when you're in college, it's easy to lose sight of what comes after those 4 years. I don't know what my neighbors are doing, but someone's causing a ruckus right now. Sorry about that, everybody. I think I was just saying that I don't want to ramble on about this too much, but basically get involved in the anthropology major because if you don't, I don't think it will be worth your time by the end of it because you won't know what you want to do with it. I also worked in labs, museums, research studies. I feel like I kind of got a taste of it all. So for me, it was worth it, but it might not be that same way for you. Yeah, okay, on to the next point. The next topic that we're going to dive into real quick right now is definitely not one that I talked about last year. And I think that you really should take advantage of your minor to make the anthropology major worth your time. While I personally have a ton of faith in the anthropology major, I think it's extremely practical. I also think there's so much that you can do with it, and the world is just now starting to wake up and see that. I think it's also really important, regardless of the anthropology major, it could be a really good idea to pair it with something that complements anthropology well through your minor. So maybe that is studying economics or computer science or business. I'm not really sure, but I think having something that's a little bit more stereotypically like I don't know, reliable or practical. I think it might ease some concerns that people have about graduating college. I think having that kind of more stereotypically practical knowledge, again, yeah, I don't know how to say that quite right because anthropology in itself is very practical. Having those two things together puts you in an even better position in the like looking for jobs in the workplace, right? Like not only do you have one great thing, but you have two. So when considering doing a minor, usually anthropology majors are pretty short, so it's not impossible to add on a minor or even another major. So, yeah, consider doing something that you think could help you in the career world, right? If you don't actually know what anthropology would do for you there. Because, again, it is really easy to lose sight during college that you have to actually find something and secure a job after those 4 years. It's something that I was thinking about, and I'm sure a lot of other people are thinking about, but when you're in it, it feels totally different. Also, at least for me, like when I was graduating college and a little bit after, like where we're at right now is like, oh, were we in a recession? Are we about to enter a recession? Like jobs are hard to find, things like that. And I think studying something in addition to anthropology could literally be anything, right? Just having more knowledge as a basic idea positions you really well. Okay, the next topic. Ready, guys? This one is something that everybody either loves hearing about or hates hearing about. It's always one of the two, and that is salary. So, statistically, anthropology graduates, or even anthropologists more specifically, don't have the highest salary out there. Okay. I'm not saying it's on the low end, and I'm also not saying it's on the high end. It's just they're kind of hanging out in the middle here. The numbers change all the time, which is the reason I'm not putting them in this video. But salary, statistically speaking, you can be more than a statistic, never forget that. But statistically speaking, anthropology graduates do not make like a bunch of money. And this is something to consider, I think, when choosing to major in anthropology, because again, you do need to think practically. And if you are someone who is going into college with a lot of student loans, or maybe you don't have the most like stability at home or whatever it could be, all very real things, I think it falls on you even more to think about how an anthropology major is going to get you to a career that can help you pay back those student loans or be okay on your own after college. I'm not saying it's not possible. In fact, I think it's incredibly possible and likely to do well and position yourself well with the anthropology major. But I do think it falls on you a little bit to think about how you're going to do that. And if you can reflect early on and think about what jobs you would want to get with an anthropology degree, how much money do those jobs make? How can you position yourself to pay back those student loans to be okay on your own after college? If you can think about these things early on, I think an anthropology major is the way to go. I loved my anthropology major in college, would not change it for the world. It has gotten to me it has gotten me to where I am today, both as a person and also professionally. I definitely am using my anthropology major a lot in my job, so I'm very grateful for it. But again, I do think it comes down to the person and thinking about what you can do with that degree significantly in advance. And this isn't to say that like you need to know who you are and what you want all the time. That's a totally scary thing. but just start brainstorming early on. Are the careers that you could get with an anthropology major something that you're interested in? Now, I'm going to say this again. We are 1 year post graduating from UCLA, which I still can't believe. Like, I feel like I should still be a freshman in college right now. So somehow I'm like on my own in the world surviving. And I definitely think that the anthropology major was worth my time. At the same time, I do think it falls on you as an individual to get involved with the major, figure out what kinds of things you'd want to do with it, think about the kind of career options you would have, and so on. And I've also found a little quick tip at the end of this video. This isn't even like in my notes that I prepared for this. I have come to find that when it comes to getting hired for jobs or getting that interview, it often falls to the experience that you have rather than the degree itself. So, if someone was pursuing a career in anthropology, if they had a degree in it, that's one thing. But if they had loads of work experience in anthropology, worked in a museum, research assistant in a lab, like all these things, that person might actually look better than someone who just has the degree. So, with that said, get involved. And if anthropology is something that you love, please do it. Yeah, those are my words of wisdom this week. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Monday. I'm filming this video actually a little bit later in the week than I normally would, so hopefully I can get this up on time. If I don't, I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's all for now. See you guys soon. Let me know what you want to see. And yeah, okay, I'll see you all next Monday. Bye.